Shalom Aleichem, everyone. We're continuing here in the Hachseg's learning of the Pele Yoetz, Erev Shabbos Kodesh, day number 83, and we're in the chapter of Brachos. V'razu, this bad habit of not saying brachas on food and drink, you'll find it more by women. Again, certainly in the olden days, as he's going to point out. They're not so expert in the words of the blessings themselves. And they eat and they drink often without making a bracha. Like Egyptian slave women. That's what they're like. How could it be that a Yiddish woman doesn't make a bracha? It's not acting like a Jew. U'mitzvah zu mutelas al avos habanos. This mitzvah to teach a woman how to make brachos is incumbent upon the father of the girl. And so too, if a fellow gets married and he sees his wife doesn't know brachos, he has to teach her. Like it says in the Shulchan Aruch, you're not allowed to give food to a person that you know is not going to make a bracha. So how can I give my daughter food? How can I give my wife food if they're not going to make brachos? There's a big shayla today in the world of kiruv. How can I give food to a non-religious person who's going to end up eating the food without saying a bracha? We try to get them to say the bracha, and even if they don't, it's the shame kiruv for the sake of bringing them closer. So we have it here. We have leniencies that we can rely upon over there. Says the Pele Yoetz further. V'aish nenash al anshe beisai. A man's going to be punished because of the people of his house. Therefore, he has to teach his daughter, his wife himself, or hire a teacher to learn the brachos. This is the main principle. Don't think about the expense of hiring a private tutor. And don't think about the loss of time because you're very busy with this right now. You're busy teaching people or the people of your house or your daughter or your children how to make brachos. What is your time for? And what is your money for? The whole purpose that Hashem gave you money and He gave you time in this world is to give Him nachas, is to do His will. So getting other people to do the ratzon of Hashem, that's the will that Hashem has. Sometimes negating the study of Torah is really the kiyum, is what's going to allow it to endure. So even though you might not be learning right now because you're teaching your daughter how to say a bracha, you might not be learning right now because you're busy over here teaching other people how to say brachos, but that's the kiyum that brings about the constant existence of the Torah itself. Al derech tichsiv, like it says, eis la'aseh Hashem, it's the time to do for the sake of Hashem. The people are avoiding out His Torah, they're canceling out His Torah. You have to stand up for the Torah. That means even if you're not learning, you don't have time to learn right now, you got to help other people do the Torah. That's what you need to do. Fortunate is the person who directs his pathways in this world to do things in the right way. It's fitting that a person should put in all of their efforts and to find books. When to hear from the words of the Seifrim, the scribes and the like, people that write, and you should write down what the words of the bracha are, and you should know what the laws of the brachas are. Because you will never be expert in the words of the brachas, nor the laws that revolve around the brachas, unless it's something you are accustomed to doing on a regular basis. And so too, make an effort that you should be someone that's like amongst the elders of Klal Yisrael, which means that you are well versed in the laws of brachas and the like. You should also know well the blessings of Sheva Brachas. You want to, and again, in the olden days, none of you had a bencher or a sitter that would say the Sheva Brachas, so you should get to know them by heart over here, says the Pele Yoetz. Just like in benching, there's a special a special prayer that you give over for the goodness and the wellness of the balabais, of the person you're eating by. You should know that by heart. And certainly you have to know well the blessing over the Levan, over the moon every single month. That's receiving the face of the Shechina. So you should know that bracha. And in truth they say, from the way that a person makes his brachas and deals with his brachas, you'll recognize that this person knows a sefer, which means he knows how to learn, he knows what's going on in the world of halacha, gemara, chazal, shulchan aruch, or he's a bore, he's an ignoramus, he's totally empty. If he makes a bracha, the right words on every food that he's going to eat, he knows the order of brachas, he knows the laws of the brachas, so on and so forth, he knows what he's talking about. It's a very good idea for a person to make efforts to learn the explanation of the words. But brachas, whatever bracha you're saying, don't you want to know what you're saying? It's not enough just to say the words in Hebrew and you have no idea what you're saying, or even understand the simple translation, but not really understand what you're really talking about. You got to know. You should place your heart to have kavanah, to have intention for the brachas that you're going to make. Like it says, the Abarbanel writes in Pirkei Avos, tefillah a bracha bli kavanah. If a person davens, or they say a bracha without kavanah, without intention, keguf beloi neshama, it's like a body without a soul. Your whole bracha, the soul of the bracha is the kavanah, is the intention that you have. The soul of the tefillah is the kavanah, is the intention that you have. If you daven the Shmoneh Esrei, say Shema, without any kavanah, without realizing what you're saying, if you make a bracha without knowing what you're saying, without the kavanah, so the whole neshama of that bracha, of that davening, is missing like a body without a soul. Rachmana litzlan. We should be zeicha to understand little by little the importance and have the reverence for the brachas and understand what we are saying, so that we are in fact making a bracha that is going to bring bracha to our lives. All the best and have a wonderful Shabbos.